So if you're living outside your home country the majority of the year, you can purchase an expat or an international health insurance plan.
Welcome to Expats Everywhere. If you could, tell us your name, where you're from, and a little about yourself.
Well, hi, I'm Andrew Jernigan. I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, which is in the southeast region of the United States. Before I married, I lived in the Netherlands, the UK, and as a family, we've worked in Ghana, Mozambique, Brazil, and US. I'm honored to be married to a Brazilian who's a travel medicine or global health doc.
Okay.
She recently completed her dual master's program in the US, and then we moved to Brazil. We have 3 kids, a cat, dog. Yeah, the animals have lived in multiple countries too.
Okay, so are you currently an expat?
Yes. I am online with you right now from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Awesome.
We maintain residence in Brazil and the U.S. with a lot of international travel every year. So it's a fun time.
Okay, well, today we're here to talk about insurance for expats. What is expat insurance?
Well, expat insurance is a specialized field offering benefits, cover for those living in a country other than their primary passport country. So it could range from folks usually think of it as health insurance.
Okay.
Because that's the one thing they definitely get insured is, travel insurance. A lot of times people think of it as that. But it could be cross-border life insurance or, if they can't get life insurance, an accidental death policy. Even foreign general liability or expat auto policies can be purchased from outside their host country.
We just brought up travel insurance. So is expat health insurance and travel insurance the same?
No, there are some differences. Do you mind if I talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Tell us about it.
Okay. Expat health, otherwise known as international private medical insurance, is purchased either as an individual, family, or even a group benefit, whether you work for an educational organization, a corporation, or a nonprofit. Those provide a group policy that would include an individual private medical insurance. Those are 12 months long in duration. Travel insurance is for the period of travel, whether you buy it for a week or you buy it for a year, but they can't be renewed. They can be purchased over and over again, but they can't be renewed. So one of the main differences, other than renewability, is that expat health, or that international medical insurance, since it can be renewed, it will cover pre-existing conditions on renewal. So if someone has a heart attack, like me when I was working in Mozambique, had a heart attack, bypass surgery, if I had just had travel insurance, when it came time to buy another policy, it would have excluded anything cardio. But because I had a full health plan, on renewal, that was not excluded.
Okay.
So that's a key difference. Now, a lot of people in that nomad space, the expats on the move, just going from one place to another, are cutting costs and they get travel insurance.
Okay.
On average, it's going to be fine. But insurance is risk management. You're playing the odds. You're hoping you don't, just in case you need it. The insurance company is selling it to you hoping you don't need it because they're selling it to you for a cheap price compared to the cost of care if you really do need it.
Right,
so
of course.
Organized gambling. Everyone trying to figure out, okay, am I going to win? Am I going to use it?
Right. Although losing can be quite devastating.
Yes.
If you're not on the right side of the odds, let's say.
Yes.
So why do I need insurance?
Well, the cost of care for a foreigner is a lot higher than for a local usually. And you may not want to go to the government hospital where everyone says, oh, healthcare is so cheap in my country. Yeah, if you're willing to go ahead and die with your diagnosis, because they may treat you or diagnose you with lung cancer, but you're not going to get chemo in that country as a foreigner or as a local necessarily. You may be on a waiting list for a long time to get the care you need. If you have insurance, it's going to cover it. Also, there's some hospitals that won't let you leave until payment is made. You may not have that kind of credit limit on your credit card. And no, credit card insurance isn't adequate because that's secondary. So it's, you need to be medevaced out. If you're somewhere and something, you need to get from Laos to Vietnam to a better hospital, you need that medevac coverage. So insurance is critical because I've seen people have to do a GoFundMe or appeal to their friends and their churches saying, hey, I contributed to one just last week just because somebody didn't have health travel insurance and they died. 26-year-old died in the Philippines, a digital nomad.
Wow.
Family wanted to get her body home.
Sure.
Yeah, that repatriation of remains, the medical evacuation, the actual covering some major bills. From the years of doing this, I could give you so many case stories, but it's one of those things. I don't like insurance, but I love people.
Sure.
So the team just pours in just to make sure people are protected. They're not overpaying. They're actually getting a plan with a company that pays their claims. So yeah, we need it, even though it's not one of those fun things to deal with.
Repatriation is a really good point. When my wife and I first started working abroad, the first couple of companies that we worked for didn't have any repatriation. And then we found out about it and we were like, well, this is genius, because I think really, if both of us die, then our parents will definitely want to bring our bodies back to the US. Now, we can have an argument whether it's worth that or not, but the fact that these insurance companies cover that and you can get a package that covers that is huge because it's super expensive, right?
It is. And, repatriation of remains or local burial is almost always included on an insurance policy.
Okay.
But medical evacuation often is extra. One of the companies that we represent, Cigna Global, it's in the last page to where they actually ask you, do you want to include it for an extra $50 or $60 every month? So a lot of folks are looking at that first page on the quote, and then they realize, oh no, you got to pay extra for that.
Right.
So there's so many aspects to where it's good to walk through it with a broker.
Okay. And I assume that's what your company does?
Yes.
Okay.
We have two aspects. We provide tailored solutions for people representing 27 global providers, but we also have created our own travel insurance product.
Okay.
So in addition to representing leading companies, we have our own travel insurance product that is underwritten, backed by Lloyd's of London, serviced by one of the best underwriters in the nation, in the U.S., with global services. So it's all the things that we wanted that we weren't seeing, we went ahead and just custom made.
Okay.
So that's the World Explorer travel insurance from Insured Nomads. And then our Insured Expat side works with institutions, companies, and families, individuals, for annual plans.
Okay, you actually lead me into my next question. How big does your employer have to be to buy insurance for the employees? So if I'm a digital nomad and maybe I do have one or two people that are working for me that are also doing the same thing, or I'm an administrator for a larger company, how big does the company have to be for me to be able to buy insurance?
You can have just one person in your company to get the policy.
Okay.
But to get an underwriting and premium underwriting advantages of a group policy and premium reductions, things like that, you do need to have at least 20 employees.
Okay.
For there to be a risk pool to where pre-existing conditions are excluded, pricing includes everyone no matter the age, a lot of different factors like that. But if it's in a company of one, you can get it.
Okay, so individuals can buy this. They're freelancing, doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do these medical policies offer benefit management for employers and companies?
Yes. Some companies do. So it's managing the benefits, managing the claims, including dental, vision, disability, some basic life insurance, things like that, when it's a group policy.
Okay.
So that's when you're coming to us saying, hey, go to Aetna, price it out with Aetna International, with Cigna Global, with MSH, with a lot of the global giants, with a full package.
Right.
That type of thing, there's benefit management. When it's an individual or a family, no real benefit management. It's pretty much self-service. No matter how large the company is you go with, it's very self-service, except for the fact that when you buy it direct through a broker like us, you do have our team to work on the claims for you if you choose to. You can call us and say, look, they're not responding to me. One of our folks will sit on hold for the 45 minutes for you.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
So I know this might be an obvious question, but who can purchase an expat health insurance plan?
Yeah, that's interesting because it brings up the point of, I don't want to declare a home resident country. I want to float around the world, or I don't have a permanent address in the country I'm moving to yet. So if you're living outside your home country the majority of the year, you can purchase an expat or an international health insurance plan.
Okay. You
can put the hotel address where you're landing that first night as your initial address. They're not going to be any qualms with it.
Okay.
Questions in the future because, hey, you're applying before you go usually.
Right.
And you're going to declare a country. They have to, for underwriting's sake, to determine, okay, how much is it going to be? If you're going to be living in Spain, they'll price the plan according to healthcare in that region.
Okay.
You're going to be covered worldwide, or worldwide excluding the U.S., which a lot of people do for cost savings, and then they buy a specialized plan whenever they visit the U.S. Or you might have one that excludes Singapore, U.S., and Brazil. There's some companies that do that just because those are some of the expensive countries for healthcare.
Okay.
So yeah, there are a few specific customizations you can do, but you don't have to say, I'm going to be there the whole year. You're covered worldwide or worldwide excluding certain countries.
Okay, so just for clarification's sake, if I'm traveling to multiple countries, does expat insurance cover me worldwide, or do I need to get travel insurance for that?
You don't need to have both.
Okay.
Unless you're traveling to a country that you excluded on your international plan.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to make that clear so our listeners can understand the difference and know which product they need to purchase. Awesome. Does expat insurance cover pre-existing conditions?
At times, yes.
Okay.
It's one of those tough things because they're looking at it as to, okay, if we charge you $6,000 a year and you have an illness that may reoccur during the year and cost them $8,000, then financially they're going to lose out. So they're going to exclude that condition. They're having to look at it financially of, okay, is this person going to file a lot of claims with us and we lose money, or they're just going to file an average number of claims?
Okay.
Like in my case, I'm healthy as a 28-year-old, they say. but I've had bypass surgery and a heart attack. So any company for an expat plan or an international private medical insurance plan, they're going to exclude anything cardiac, even though it's been 6 years. We face that where we submit an application to a company and they say, okay, we'll issue a policy, but exclude this and this. We send the same application in through another company and they breeze it straight through saying accepted standard.
Okay.
So the underwriter, that one particular person looking at that application, has a lot of authority.
Okay, so you could shop around essentially. If you get turned down by one company, you check another quote.
Yes. There are times where the questionnaire actually says, have you ever been declined from insurance? So that's a bummer when that question is there.
Yeah.
But, pre-existing conditions is a tough scenario. It's always excluded on travel insurance. Folks don't realize it. You know, they think, if it's not asked in that medical question, when they take all my medical information, then it's not a pre-existing condition. So it's one of those things. The pre-existing conditions is not a fun aspect of life with insurance, but there's a lot of fraud and they're not charging adequate amounts sometimes to cover the claims.
I see. Okay. Well, let's move forward. And how do we know which plan is best for me?
Ooh, that means we actually have to get to know you,
Okay.
your risk tolerance, how much of a deductible, etc. Know if you're going to have a baby soon,
Right.
within the next year. Because some folks don't think about that. They don't think, oh no, I may get married the next year and I'll want a maternity rider on there.
Okay.
And then they just bought a plan without it and they got married. Then they're stuck saying, oh no, I don't have it. So really, that's an example to say it's best to talk to somebody so that you've actually had questions asked of you that you may not think about when you're just staring at a form online and just purchasing without talking to somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do I enroll?
It's usually pretty simple. Most companies, it's online with a questionnaire, and you just get a link and apply, whether it's through a broker or through a website.
And do you have any recommendations of places we should go?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would love for us to be able to serve whoever's listening today, insurednomads.com. And at the very bottom of the page, click Insured Expat.
Okay.
And it'll take you to a questionnaire that asks the basic questions, and then we get a call scheduled, or you can message through our chat on our website. We have a chat bot there as well as WhatsApp on our site. So we'd love to serve you. That's insurednomads.com.
Okay, and guys, we'll put the links in the description below so you can check that out. Andrew and I have spoken a bit over the past couple of weeks, and we're not getting any kickback from this. This is just an interview that we wanted to do because we were curious about expat insurance and travel insurance, and we thought that you guys might want this information as well because we know that the digital nomad space is really opening up and people are moving from place to place. And Andrew and Expats Everywhere connected, and here we are. So we're hoping that you'll find this beneficial and he can serve you guys. Well, I've got a couple more questions for you, and then I'll let you go. Are my spouse and children covered under my expat health insurance policy?
That's a good question. It's interesting because a lot of people transition from a work plan to where they assume that their dependents are going to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you got to declare that. Give their date of birth and their information for them to be on the plan.
And then that'll affect pricing, correct? Because now you're adding more
Absolutely.
liability.
Kids are often either free or almost free
okay.
on a health plan. But yes, according to the age and the health history of the adults, that certainly affects the price.
Why does a child not have as much impact on the health insurance?
Really, children are usually quite healthy.
Okay.
So there is medical underwriting, but if the child has not had any issue from birth, that's when it's almost, no change in price.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Because, when I think of kids, especially from my time teaching in schools, felt like they were sick all the time and having to visit the doctor. But I guess they're not having these critical type of operations or anything.
Right. Yes. It's a tough generalization because, yes, there are a lot of families that have kids that are dealing with different things. So keep that in mind. Some of those, sometimes there is an issue.
Okay.
Where they're not at the low to free price range.
I see. Okay. Well, why should someone, I think we touched on this, but why should someone choose Insured Nomads to go with?
Because we care. We're not looking to get rich ourselves. We're looking to provide a service. We're looking to provide great benefits, excellent claim service, added features that you wouldn't necessarily get just off Google results, and to fund the work of Not for Sale. Can I share one more thing with you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
We really don't care about insurance. We care about people.
Yep, that's beautiful.
And one of the main things in creating insurance policies, as we've begun to do, partnering with the leading providers, we decided that we were going to do this from the beginning with a purpose. It's cause-based. Our company has a culture of generosity. And so a large portion of our revenue goes to Not for Sale. It's an organization that works around the world to provide for and protect those that are vulnerable and exploited in human trafficking. So human trafficking is a broad spectrum from manufacturing to sex trade to a lot of different aspects of labor. So all purchases, whether it's an expat health plan, a group policy, or the Insured Nomads travel insurance, goes there. And we ask after the purchase, would you consider an additional $5 or additional $7 to go to them? Because they're incredible. It's one of those fun ways that we can pour not just into our customers' lives, but into kids and women that need legal representation, need housing to get out of a tough situation.
Andrew, that's awesome. I love that. Andrew, thank you so much for spending time with Expats Everywhere. We just really look forward to seeing how Insured Nomads grows, and we actually hope to be purchasing some insurance from you in the near future, so we'll be hitting you up for a policy. Thank you so much for reaching out to us.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you, everyone at Expats Everywhere.
Take care.